win over Optic. I wasn't sure if they were just feeling themselves day one, catching some good teams on off days, but Koi have earned the respect of everyone after this qualifier.
They really have, and I think that's a big takeaway for Koi, especially against the likes of G2, is that G2 are not going to come in timid. They have earned the respect of the top dogs, a team in G2 that's arguably top 4 in North America, on their good days winning championships, on their bad still contending. But Koi makes some changes, right? You have Gyro, the longest standing member of the Rogue/Koi roster, now new faces around him, and look at what they've been able to do. Johnny said it best, this is one of the best 3 teams we have here, and how they've been playing in these opening matchups has been crucial towards their success. They take down the likes of some of the best here, and they've gone up against some of the best as well. But for G2, I think getting back to baseline is really important. You want to start off with a game 1 win, surely, but as we kick things off here in game 1, about a minute burn so far, and it's really just been all of G2 with pressure early on, like we're so used to seeing.
And G2, you're feeling good about their 3s game. It's more about the 2s and the 1s, especially against a team like Koi who brought in that specialist. I believe G2 have lost almost every 2v2 and 1v1 except against Koi. And I think that's why you can go into this match if you're a G2 fan with a lot more confidence. But they are coming off of a 4-0 loss, which was excruciating. They just couldn't handle the Daniel buff. And Koi are coming off of a win. And that's why I agree with our analysts that this is a hard match to go in to predict.
If you're Koi, you want to catch G2 on a loss against V1 as well. You're kind of getting steam through the lower bracket. Koi takes down Optic. Of course, V1 handles business against G2. And now you win this, you move to the grand finals. Granted, if you're a fan of both these teams, they have qualified for Gamers 8, so you can breathe easy at night knowing that. But still, you want to know what's going to happen, whether G2 have the resolve to get back to another grand final. But if you want to get those channel points in, predict who's going to win this series, do it now, as the poll will close momentarily. But speaking of, it's been all of starts for G2. They've had a lot of pressure and a lot of time to move that ball upfield freely. Finally, the defense does close in and deny the extra push, but we haven't seen a lot of offense from Koi to start.
Well, with minutes gone by, it's still a 0-0 score. Chicago has 2 defenders. Cheese coming back, and this pinches off to the corner. Atomic looking for the recovery. Actually, J-Naps grabs that off the wall. Gyro denies. And G2, though, they've been patrolling and looking for their opportunity to strike and still not finding much. Maybe it's just getting back into their groove. Obviously, you're facing an easier, quote, team in Koi versus, you know, the version 1. So hopefully G2 have gained back that confidence.
Oh, you're struggling with boost for the moment for Koi. That's why G2 are pushing this ball towards the top backboard. They're forcing an awkward clear. And it's worked out. G2 have had more than their fair share of chances to put this one away. And the slow drop, pulling defenders off the play, forcing that aggressive push, forcing the double commits. You're pressured and stressing now if you're Koi on defense. Try to find this clear and get upfield again. G2 have to move through a best-of-7. All best-of-7s here today for every single matchup. Grand finals will be no different. All crew battle formats. But to start, I mean, Koi have not had a lot of possessions in this game, and it shows. They have struggled to clear their own side of the field.
They had like 1 clear, and then it was brought right back to them, refunded. Now they're just getting demoed on their own end. Here's a chance. Sosa falls up, gets past 1. It's an open net. Koi were trapped, and they bite back.
I don't know if that's a misplay by Atomic, but I think he gets called off here because Chicago turns right. He's too late to the call. Atomic needs to go for that ball, and Chicago needs to fall back in rotation. That's a miscue from G2 you do not see too often. The midfield usually theirs. That's a blunder. And Koi capitalize. Again, a team that doesn't make a lot of mistakes in 3s, but you can't out-pressure them. G2 shoot themselves in the foot, and Koi have a 1-0 lead.
How did G2 strike back? It was a low score in game 2 against version 1, but it's a different team. And Koi able to punish already an early mistake, but like you pointed out, best-of-7, a lot of time to fix those. As Chicago lands right down to Koi, looking for the counterattack. Cheese up high as Gyro to the right, doesn't need the help. Good save by G2.
And this is what you want if you're Koi. You withheld the pressure from G2. You put everything you have towards the backboard. You clear off those last pinches. The ISO chow from G2 doesn't work out, and it's just a slow push upfield for the counterattack as Gyro does find the clear and eventual possession, but stays alive on the play. G2 will have to try again. They've essentially showed Koi everything they have on offense. They're not going to change the cards too much, but the deck reads the same, and Koi are ready for it. They're more than happy to play these one-on-one challenges and keep clearing this ball to the corner.
I'm not seeing too much panic from Koi, too, and that's good to see, considering it's G2 that you're facing, a top 4 team in North America, and Koi, this newer team, presenting themselves and obviously making a huge statement and earning the respect, as we've mentioned, and even getting a goal. And they're in the lead with 31 seconds left. G2 have been pounding this net and haven't found the gap quite yet. Atomic won't be able to connect with his compatriots who are on the other side of the field. Chicago be able to get this and flicks it above, but how is that saved? Koi, hold on.
It's a good shot from Chicago, but this is where G2 start to get dangerous, right? Like they've pulled the defense thin. They have gaps in the middle of the net that you can put a powerful shot towards. A lot of boost for Chicago, looking for the infield cut. Gyro just enough to interrupt the play and get in the lane to disrupt the push from G2. And now you have to go the length of the field, post to post with no time on the clock. Koi will take game one and start off hot against the former adversaries earlier in the winner bracket. It was a 3-0 sweep by G2, but here things are very different in the lower final.
It feels like a stalemate still because Koi's only goal was off of a defensive mistake from G2, not having that third man rotated in the right spot to even have a save as a completely open net. And despite G2 feeling like they owned the offense, they kept Koi trapped for so long. It just took one good counterattack to give Koi game one. And it's just unfortunate because I felt G2 did look threatening on that offense.
And they did, and this is really just a tell of the tapes with how good Koi are on their defensive prowess. Like how good they are at recognizing mistakes from G2, because all it took was one mistake. It was one miscue in the comms from G2. They left the midfield open, nobody challenges, and Sosa pokes the ball free and gets a goal. That's a mistake you don't see often, but Koi had one opportunity in this game to really put a shot on net. They didn't have a lot of sustained offense upfield. It was all of G2. The one opportunity they have, they take it, they score. G2 are down 0-1 in the series to start. That is all credit to Koi in that opening bets of 3, but now things change. You've been with us this weekend. You know how it works. If you haven't, welcome into crew battles. You lose the first game, any game in this series. You now have a choice for the other team to pick which one they want. They want ones, do they want twos, and so on and so on. We roll through all the modes, and it's a best of 7, so you got to win 4 on this one. But we're going to ones. We're going right back to what's worked last time. Cosmic, of course, the ones main here for Koi. He's an extra player they're bringing in, a substitute, if you will, for Atomic. We saw this prior. Atomic handled his business, made Cosmic look silly. Granted, nerves were a factor, but I wonder if things will be different here as Koi seemed to be on the rebound.
I wonder if it's just Chicago feeling off his game because G2 chose a 2v2 against version 1 earlier on and maybe disappointed with that performance, putting Atomic in against the one specialist, which is, I'm surprised to see, obviously already early possession from Cosmic. Atomic trying to get out of his own end gets demoed and Koi score first.
Cosmic's look good today. And I think he's made some small adjustments against Atomic. Again, granted, they played yesterday, so it's not a lot of time, but the demo is just the icing on the cake. It's a solid catch right in the offensive third, and that flip's going to burn Atomic. Didn't have a lot of presence towards his own goal line, and once you're caught, again, and once you get caught out of position, you're probably going to get punished for it. But it's those extra wave dashes off kickoff, the recoveries that really help stabilize Atomic in some of these, and he gets caught again. It's going to be a little bit wide, but I do like the idea from Cosmic, and I'll see what he can do.
And now that I have my memory back, I guess I'm less surprised because Koi picked the 1v1 against G2, and that was one of the few games that Cosmic lost, and here is the tie. 6-2 was the score between Atomic and Cosmic the last time they faced, and I can see this being more competitive now.
We're talking about two of the best midfielders in the game. You're looking at phases missed, and you're looking at Atomic's, or G2's Atomic. So when it comes to the midfield battle, regardless of who wins the kickoff, if you give Atomic space, you're going to get burned. And if you give the kickoff to Cosmic and you don't get back as you half flip to the side for boost, you're going to get burned as well. It's another great recovery right off the bounce.
And we've seen a lot of goals come with those kickoffs. Sometimes people trying to go for delays. You never know how that 50 is going to turn out. And like you said, how quickly you are to recover. And Koi, aka Cosmic, I'm just going to go with Cosmic now. I'm so used to saying team names, but Koi, the quick forgiveness after Atomic found his first one. I like that Atomic is kind of this wait-and-see player, though, and it feels like Cosmic has a lot of possession. Now Atomic gets a chance, but chasing this down, it's a duel of the century, it feels like. Atomic with the first shot, nothing Cosmic is worried about.
I mean, Cosmic has looked so confident today. And again, I think maybe it's trial by fire yesterday, caught off guard. There was a lot of pressure on his shoulders to come in immediately against G2 and perform. But he got that out of the way, shook off the rust, and all of a sudden he is turned on into a different gear. This kid is the real deal. If you've been watching ones, you know the name Cosmic. You know how good he is, but you also know how good at striking Atomic can be, as he baits out a quick save to the side and punishes for a tie game.
Just really good timing, even just tucking it into the left side when you see the dive from Koi. 2-2. And this is how G2 can, at least hopefully for them, climb back in this series and against one of the best ones players we've had in this tournament in terms of results that Cosmic has been able to put up. would be huge for G2, but we were expecting them to put have a bigger splash in threes. Goal line saved by Atomic, as Cosmic was hoping to just bulldoze his way through.
Still plenty of time here. As Cosmic will get the back grab, and you're going to go to the air. You're going to get punished from the sidewall. Look, Atomic's not going to miss that touch very often, if at all. It's the right play by Cosmic. He has no boost. He has no choice, but he has to go for the grab. And Atomic was calling game from the ceiling very, very quickly. It's going to be an opening goal there. Atomic making it 3-2 for G2, and off the kickoff wins it again.
But the lead hasn't gone past 1 for either player, as Cosmic sends it in deep, has the follow-up corner boost. Atomic gets the touch to at least buy some time. Cosmic decides to respect that, falls back to the midfield. Atomic pinches Cosmic. That wall flips it over his head. Cosmic goes for the shot and gets it and ties it 3-3.
It's great recovery, too. That backflip stalls. Atomic has to play the high bounce, and Cosmic immediately waves back and puts it on target. Nicely done by the young one. A lot of pressure on this kid's shoulders. How yesterday went, how he's performed today. Having a 1 specialist when a lot of teams wouldn't even consider a sub for this tournament, and how many specific players in 1s were practicing. But you're always going to have to worry about the veteran cadence of somebody like Atomic. We're on the kickoff yet again. It's a quick shot and a quick pull-up. Wins the chow, the 50 is his, and puts it away.
Yeah, I was more worried if Cosmic was going to be warmed up while his team is playing threes. I'm sure he's just practicing 1s, waiting for his moment to shine, and then goes back to having snacks. So it's a lead now for G2, but Koi, aka Cosmic, have always been quick to respond, like we've mentioned. Doesn't have a lot of boost, though.
Yeah.
Atomic will send this back, and he gets the chase and has more resources at the end. Now it's a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, these midfields are tough here for Cosmic because he just kind of loses possession of the ball when he comes back, and Atomic immediately picks up on the read and moves downfield. Wins the extra touch, gets out in front, has a lot of boost to be able to, again, punch it forward. With Cosmic, not much in the tank, not much you can really respond with either. You're not able to stabilize back. And the aerials have been there for Atomic. So basically, the majority of his goals so far in this 1s has come from whether it's been right up the gut of midfield, using towards the backboard, or circling through the corner. We've seen it a couple of times. Atomic's had more than enough space. You got 2 minutes and 15-ish seconds on the clock. A lot of time here for Cosmic. Down by 2. Atomic trying to make it 3, but he'll give possession right back.
Yeah, didn't have enough boost. As I like that Cosmic was just waiting for Atomic's reaction on the defense, dribbles it up, and Atomic reads it well, pre-jumps, blocks, goes back to Cosmic though, and counterattack isn't there for Atomic yet, as Cosmic just tries to go up and above, and feels like Atomic has been able to keep him at bay pretty steadily. I've seen some pretty threatening positioning from Cosmic, and Atomic hasn't let anything through.
Waited, bought time, plays it appropriately, that's the goal. You give Atomic some space, but you also have to kind of circle, keep an eye on the post. Cosmic does it, and a beautiful touch back out to midfield to give him the lead.
Oh, it's about time, too. I was starting to get worried. He had a 2-goal lead for Atomic, biggest lead we've had in this 1s match so far. And Cosmic has had a few attempts, and usually just possessions have been converted in that first half, hence why we have such a high-scoring game, it feels like. But Cosmic has been stalled out a lot more. Now 90 seconds. Cosmic grabs the boost, but Atomic up and above, and Koi can't save it.
Oh, this off cadence from Atomic is just masterful here. Through the corner, playing boost instead. Atomic got him right here. You're not expecting that quick of a shot. You're expecting Atomic to maybe try to hold the reset and play it close towards the net, but instead just puts it away. And Cosmic was not prepared. 2-goal lead here for G2. A very decisive game 2 at that. You want to tie up this series. Last thing you want is more momentum in Koi's pocket. Is that going to float in? Okay, I guess it will. He had no boost, but still.
I'm surprised too. I mean, Atomic gets that jump, but just couldn't recover in time. And Cosmic starts to come back. That 2-goal lead starting to shrink down to 1. You got plenty of time, and feels like we're going to be here forever because they're just scoring every time they have the ball. Cosmic wins the kickoff too, and
nice.
Atomic
Well
just own goals, but
well done.
Good, 6-6.
Good job, Atomic. That was great. Well, if you wonder how quickly we're going to get back into this game, the question was what the adjustments would be made by Cosmic, and I think Atomic kind of helped him in that department. So, W's in the chat for that. We go again.
Minute left, and G2 desperately needing to tie the series. But obviously, this is the team you were supposed to favor. If you were just looking at these two teams on paper, you would obviously predict G2, but performance on the day is what makes everyone question, as Koi have taken down some serious teams, Optic and others. And G2, coming off that 4-0 loss, is what makes you think, do they still got that dog in them? And that's when you put all the eggs in the Atomic basket, as he has to race back and is able to stop that just narrowly.
I mean, that bum twice on some of these counterattacks has stopped Atomic from going right upfield and scoring again. Great presence and spatial awareness out of Cosmic to understand he has to shut the play down before grabbing boost. Does it now. Atomic holds the reset, plays it low to the turf, but Cosmic will try to swing through the corner and does so. Is he out freely? That's a goal, and Atomic won't be anywhere close. The poise from Cosmic, back-to-back bumps to shut down the counterattack. Atomic get caught, the edge guard's there, and it's a poke free. A beautiful shot downfield. Nicely done. Koi, 7-6.
But as individuals, Atomic and Cosmic are so good, but in ones, just every positional mistake is exposed, and Cosmic will find those. 8 seconds left
Huge
for
bump.
Atomic to get it, and he just can't. Cosmic with yet another punish.
I mean, this has been the physicality of the last 30 seconds. Atomic's getting bullied here, and Cosmic gets him out of the way. That is a insane recovery in this game by Cosmic. The micro adjustment, taking away the midfield game of Atomic, winning some of these kickoffs, the delayed hit, just ISOs it and clears this one away. GG's all around for Koi. Cosmic steps up yet again. I feel like it's the story so far of Koi this tournament. They have been flawless in threes. They've looked good in every other game mode, but Cosmic has been the MVP. This kid is real, and he's legit. A 2-0 lead for Koi.
And the earlier conversations this tournament was, does Koi perform well in threes compared to all the other teams who have been together for so long, like G2? And Koi have proved themselves in threes. Yes, that might be their, quote, weaker game mode, but when they dominate in twos and ones, that's how Koi were able to get ahead on a lot of teams. And G2 not starting off the threes well, not scoring once, but obviously Atomic had a way better performance. Just overall, this series or this match of ones has been better than the last ones. And obviously, Cosmic took some lessons, took some notes from how their last matchup went. It was 6-2 for Atomic last time. And now what, 8-6 here, so different.
Yeah, look, it was a pretty convincing hold from Atomic from the last time these two teams played in the ones. Granted, Cosmic was, I'm sure, nervous kind of the first time on the stage. This kid's really one of the first tournaments he's really played in, but you're going up against a veteran Atomic who's seen World Championship competition at the highest level. Also, just in ones, a very tough player to beat at the midfield. Cosmic making a lot of adjustments here so far. And just looking at the scratch we have so far, a 2-0 lead in the series for a team that got swept last time in the winners round. Now you're in the lower finals with a chance to play V1. You're on a hot streak. Momentum's on your side. We're going back to threes. G2 have to turn things around here, or Koi are going to be on match and series point. And we all know what that means. They're not going to leave anything on the table. It could be a very dangerous situation for G2.
I still think Atomic should have his head held high. So that's already a tongue twister, because that last ones game was decided in the last 30 seconds. You know, the lead never got past 1 or maybe 2. As Cosmic, just like you said, got a lot more physical at the end, and gyro strikes, and Koi are up 1.
And there's the 50 through the corner. The lack of clears from G2. J-Naps doesn't get the catch that he wants, and Sosa follows up. He was the only person on Koi to find a goal in game 1, punished a mistake from G2. Similarly here, but different results. Still a 1-0 lead regardless. 20 seconds have been burned, but Koi do have a lead, and they've won the kickoff. We'll see what they can do with it, but possession for the moment for G2. And I like the pressure early from Koi, right? It's a change that we saw from game 1. They were stuck on their own back line. They were being pushed, but they've been giving G2 everything they have, and these shot placements are great.
Koi are performing so well today, like I said, just the fact that it wasn't just a fluke at the start of the tournament, catching some teams not warmed up. Koi have proven themselves, and this threes game already looking better. The fact that they just get that first goal, they look threatening more on the offense. They're not trapped anymore. As G2 go for demos, now Atomic harasses, gets the ball away. Chicago to the backboard, and G2 can't connect on that, and it falls away.
I mean, already upfield, you're already seeing members of Koi circling and overextending, which again just steals boost right out of the tank of G2 and keeps them stuck on their own goal line. So they're gonna have to play a lot of these clears low. Luckily, Atomic was rotating into the play, which gave him credence to now make his move. Has the reset, uses it, and gets it right off the top bar, but a big save from Koi to keep their lead intact. 1-0, and the double commits at midfield mean nothing. What a play out of Koi, even though G2 sets it up perfectly. Oh, man. Oh,
got
brother.
it at the end of the day.
There it is.
Okay, Atomic, self-pass, and right to chain ups with 2 defenders diving for it. So close, finding the gap. And that's G2's first goal in threes after the shutout, the stalemate that we experienced in the first game, despite G2 having many opportunities on the offense, finally breaking through and can be feeling good to be competitive against Koi.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what you need, right? If someone has to step up, if JNAPS is the one doing it, you'll take it all day, every day. But Chicago's slow roller, easily denied. The pressure now beginning for G2, what we're used to and accustomed for this squad. But Koi handling it quite well, and they're winning a lot of 50s back in midfield. That's a good sign of things to come.
Okay, Atomic sees the challenge, runs out of boost. JNAPS keeps it going. To the corner, though, Gyro not only grabs the boost, but grabs the ball. But G2 keep them trapped with the midfield presence as Sosa sends it down. But not the immediate follow-up. G2 were there first. And this is the type of, trying to just break through. Chicago had 2 defenders. Couldn't bully his way through, and Koi get a clear. Something that they're doing a lot better compared to game 1.
I mean, yeah, look, you're breaking out of the stronghold that G2 have, which, again, for any team is a feat in and of itself. But this is a Koi roster that had struggled in game 1. Sample size still small, relatively wise. They got a couple of games to play here, but G2 put the pressure on. Koi finally responding to it. These big clears are getting out past midfield, keeping numbers up, which is big as well. You got Cheese flying through the corner, Gyro at midfield, confidence player if he's feeling good. You're expecting high-powered offense to follow. Got to make sure you don't give G2 the extra touch, taking away the rebound opportunities. Big plays on the defensive end by Koi.
Holding G2 at bay. Remember that game 1 was 9 shots to 2 for G2, and I'm gonna give you one guess. It'll probably be wrong on who won that game. Koi just had one good counter attack, but this has obviously been a better showing from G2. A couple of missed touches there, all good. Gives Koi a chance to have an offense going. But now that G2 had rotated for the defense, something that Koi had to wait patiently to recover in the midfield. Cheese gets it set up to the corner, but Atomic is there. Koi gonna keep battling for possession, but trying to build up that threat level is a different story.
They're leaving, and by they being Koi, leaving their island player as a bit of a flex at midfield. Once they fall out of position, they're circling at that 50-yard line and keeping themselves involved on the play. So if someone has to come up for a challenge off the backboard, G2 try to clear, Koi up for the contest. The 50s have been favoring the team in orange to start. The demo just leads way to an opposite ping-pong shot, and we go back to Boomball for the moment. Sosa was thinking about boost, but had to take the challenge early. And Gyro dumps it back to the midfield. Ought to have been an insane pre-jump pass, but I don't think it's going to happen. G2 try to stuff it through the right side. But here we go. Pressure now on Koi. The defense has been great. Can they hold it? Can they get back downfield before G2 begin yet again?
Oh, time flies. 43 seconds. Chicago. Oh, it's off the right post. But Atomic can keep this going, or maybe not. All the defenders harassing him and going for the clear. It's brought right back. JNAPS waits for what Sosa is cooking. Flies through the air, has the boost. Try and carry Koi to an offense, but it feels like most likely G2 could be scoring next. JNAPS didn't get the touch he wanted. The coverage too much for Koi on this defense.
This pressure through the corner is big, though. Cheese does get the full tank. 20 to work with here. Game clock turned off, 6 to play. G2 have to go post to post, and Koi are just trying to hold on to this midfield pressure. It's the catch from Atomic. Back to ones for a moment, you'd think, but we go to OT here in game number 3. A very important one for G2 to keep their tournament run alive here. But for Koi, you win this, you're up 3-0, and you only need one more.
It only takes one bad mistake, too, to give either Koi match point for a chance to go to the grand final against version 1, or G2 a slow climb back in the series, maybe going to 2s. We'll see how confident they feel about that. They opted for 1s last time. Atomic and Chicago will be up to bat next. but it's how you can set the tone in your threes. You're not happy about how game one, you didn't get any goals, but G2 looked better here, and it's been many more offenses in the second half and in this overtime, but peeling back Koi on this defense seems difficult. Now you got to bring in the demos of your G2, and it's the red carpet to the net, and G2 take game 3.
And this is the pressure that you set up from JNaps and Atomic with a beautiful extra touch that puts it on a floater. Everybody follows suit. Chicago's out for rotation just in case. Backboard is clear. Demo opens house, and they clear the lane. G2, a must-win here in Game 3, and they finally find themselves with something to show in this series.
Whew, my heart is racing. I was not sure because this was going to be the worst day ever for G2. You get 4-0'd by version 1. Not that the score, it's more, not the result, the total result that was surprising, but rather the scoreline of 4-0. And then this was maybe heading that 4-0 direction of Koi. We're going to win this game 3 in terms of the mental bounce back from G2. But this is a massive win for G2 just to not only get back in the series physically, but mentally too.
I mean, look, this was a bit of a masterclass defensively from Koi. They really read everything G2 had to throw at them, essentially word for word, and it came down to a couple of audibles on the goal line. You see some physicality coming out for G2. Hi, welcome back. You're seeing the demos start to be brought out more and more. That is the extra flair that G2 have in their game plan that really wasn't here in the first 4 minutes, 59 seconds. All of a sudden, they start bringing it out. Koi can't respond, can't do anything but tip your cap to G2. They stay alive in this series, but it means we're granted and given a 2v2 coming up here on Coliseum. Best of 7, G2 trying to tie things up for the equalizer. Now we go into Cheese and Gyro versus Chicago and Atomic. The same twos we just saw against V1. Now we're seeing Cheese and Gyro go up against this two-headed Hydra, and I still look at Koi and say, you know what? On paper and in game, this twos line up a lot better than what Chicago and Atomic are probably going to bring to the table. Again, this is not a team that's very strong in twos nor ones. G2 known for their threes, obviously. Koi should be feeling very confident going into this one.
And Koi were able to win their twos match against Optic, but dropped it pretty heavily against Complexity. But that was the only game they did drop against Complexity. And like we said, Koi have taken out the big dogs and almost a big goal. What was that save by Gyro right at the goal line? But you're not out of the woods yet. If you're Koi, you get a big clear here. Looks like Chicago is ready to bring it right back.
It's a great pass to Atomic off the ceiling. Would have been off the top bar, but regardless, the defense is there to make things more interesting. And after this, we go back to threes, and then we reset the board for whoever eventually loses our guaranteed game number 5. We are definitely getting at least 6. But here we go, through the corner, trying to play bully ball here as G2 put their numbers up, but not escaping. Gyro very much struggling to hold on to possession before he gives it to Cheese.
It's going to take a lot of effort out of G2 to score, just with what I've already seen from Gyro. But at least he forces his way through the left side. Chicago tips it out of the reach of Koi. Now start to pressure the corner, and Chicago wins that. Has Atomic by his side looking for the redirect, but Gyro pops it up. Again, he makes huge defensive plays to make sure G2 can't connect.
And that's a mistake there from Cheese. He was trying to catch that ball on the swing and then transition immediately down, but he actually plays under it, doesn't get the touch, and then the entire counterattack stalls because of it. Sometimes the play breaks down. Cheese misses the touch on the sidewall, and G2 are up, they're ready, and from there, they punish.
Gyro can get the touch to put into the corner. You know, sometimes he's the hero and sometimes he's the villain. All good. I think G2 could have had more goals if it wasn't for Gyro. But how do Koi form that counterattack that they showed that one time on game 1? And that's where the K stands for cope, as they hope to try and come back in this threes match. Here comes Atomic, and love that challenge from Gyro, but couldn't recover possession. So Koi are just taking shot after shot.
Ooh, that's good as well. Just a little bit awkward on the angle. Listen, if you're a Rogue fan, also known as Koi, at this point, you know Copium. Like, we know this very, very well. These fans have been through it. They're the masters of Hopium and Copium, but they definitely have a good squad on their hands here, and now it just comes down to equalizing and tying up this game. So plenty of time on the clock. Cheese will find the possession here. The cross on the redirect. Buys enough on the double pinch, and here we go. 2 commit. Back to the midfield. Not a great touch. Possession here for G2. It's a 1v1 that the 50 does favor the boys in blue. Working off the ceiling, but caught at the midfield. Cheese fighting for possession.
And this is the first time Koi have had a successful clear, almost the double tap. Denied by G2. Atomic Might have a bit more boost to work with, so he gets to the ball and able to at least 50 it towards Cheese. And G2 have presented more shots and only a 1-0 score due to just Koi's defense being that good. But how do Koi turn that into an offense? Their transitions is something they're still working on. You pointed out the midfield scuffle as Koi is back on defense, and that's not a great touch, but she's able to still salvage that.
You're always scared about what might happen on those low touches, right? It's not a lot of power, but can you catch somebody on an off flip? Probably not, given the credibility that Cheese and Gyro do have individually. And Gyro's been in these situations before. He knows against the likes of NRG, FaZe, G2, he's seen the best of the best for many, many years. Still plenty of time here. Chicago in the net, trying to disrupt and be a nuisance. We've seen that before. Cheese gonna pop it, and he'll call point towards the backboard. Can't win the 50. Into the corner, back to the neutral zone. That's Gyro who gets possession. Squishy save, there it is. Chicago right back out with a follow-up from Cheese. If he can't finish, somebody else will. We got a tie game.
That's what we needed to see from Koi. The setups are there, but it's the rally, the follow-up that we needed Koi to be at the right place at the right time in the box. Koi took shot after shot, and that's the pressure that Koi needs to apply to G2 to make them sweat. 1-1 game with a minute 16 left. It's low-scoring games because it just takes that much hustle, and Atomic there almost sneaks one by. Gyro there again.
Well, you got to give it on the handoff. I like that call from Cheese. Gyro didn't have any boost, so you light up those comms, give your teammate a chance to make a play, leave him on his lone as he rotates back. Gyro should be fighting for Atomic's position, but instead he'll wait and grab the boost. Punches it downfield. G2 will clear. Under 50 seconds to play here on Coliseum as Koi trying to take a 3-1 series edge, but G2 looking to tie it up.
Oh, good catch, Atomic. Oh, getting harassed by 2, though. It's going to need some help. And there's Atomic just guiding this away. Next play for G2 offense. Not having a lot of time. Look at that disruption, that challenge from Koi. But no one's there to center that out towards the net. And G2 quickly rotate their third man back in. It's Koi with cute clears, but ain't no cute goals, at least not yet.
Well, we're starting to see Gyro start bumping a Chicago in midfield. It's making the rotation back a little bit more difficult. Just something to think about here for G2. Into the corner. Cheese with a huge 50, gets the demo. He has to circle back quickly. Where's Gyro? Somewhere in front of that, I'm sure, but no, it'll touch regardless. You want to play for OT, I don't blame it. We were looking for a quality shot. It did eventually come through, but it just wasn't enough. Cheese wins the kickoff. 1v1 in front. Atomic might get baited, but he plays his life appropriately and puts a hand up just in time.
Oh, just the tip of his finger, too. It felt like just barely the top of his car got a touch. Last overtime, taken by G2. It's a shot blocked by Gyro. And this is why you bring him in the 2s, but Cheese needs to make the magic happen at the front. G2 see the approach. Cheese with the harassment to the right side, but Gyro not there in time. Not sure how to commit. Doesn't know how those challenges are going to go. As Koi fall back for the defense, G2 can't crack that egg yet.
That's a big touch, though. Diving save won't matter. She's got enough power on this. And he was just catching G2 out just enough. Atomic on the flip, had to get down quickly. Went to grab boost, couldn't circle through. Chicago's on a straight line, and that ball's on an angle. It's already in the back of your net by the time you're getting close. That's a beautiful read by Cheese. And that's what they were looking for in the last 20 seconds. When Cheese was moving upfield and he was stealing possession away from G2, that's the exact shot they were trying to set up. And they finally find it in OT. 3-1 Koi, series edge, and series point.
And maybe I'm wrong. I said Koi's clears really can't be enough to score, but I guess in a game of 2s, you don't automatically.
It was a good jinx.
Yeah, good jinx, right? You don't have that third man back that is going to catch these long clears. So sometimes at the right place at the right time, if that ball is centered out, those clears do turn into goals. We haven't seen it that often from Koi, and I needed Cheese. Actually, I blessed Cheese. Thank you very much. I said I needed him to make the magic happen, and he waved his wand and won them the OT.
I mean, I don't even think if Atomic goes just straight towards the low post, I don't think he gets there in time either. He needed boost. He was low. You can't wave dash that quickly to getting up to supersonic speed, so there's really no choice. Chicago doing his best to get back, but that is better recognition from Cheese in the moment to put that on target as G2 get caught out. We've seen that in game 1. We'll see what happens now as this series moves forward, but here we go. Oasis up next. G2 down 3-1 in this series. And you're on series point for Koi. One more, and you go to the grand final to face off against V1.
I know how bad G2 want that rematch too. Just wouldn't call it an embarrassment of the 4-0 scoreline, but you expected a tougher fight from G2, and wishing they did just at this series as Gyro finds the first one.
Listen, Koi fans, you're feeling good right now. Gyro is showing up in threes. Cheese is looking great at midfield, and Sosa is what pulled this team through to a Game 1 victory. Koi fans, where are you at? Get very, I don't want to say it loud, but get very happy, please, because this team's been working for it. This organization has needed these types of results for a long time, and it's starting to come to fruition as they are looking to shut down G2.
And the first threes taken by Koi, 1-0. Second threes by G2 in overtime, though. So this has been a tough challenge, despite maybe some saying that the three's not the best game mode for Koi, but G2 fight their way back.
That's a missed touch by Gyro. And it's not even really his fault, just wrong place, wrong time. Chicago's already up. I mean, goodbye. It's so free. Good response from G2.
What a redirect, what a pass too. And Koi usually get in the middle of that. And Koi's defense is something we haven't really needed to nitpick at. As this pinches to Chicago, and he does it again! Koi can only sit there and watch!
This double commit's not great in the net. I mean, I think Gyro got bumped. No, he didn't. He just fell down awkwardly, and G2 capitalized on the space. That's a great pinch to center back out for Chicago. He basically falls away and puts it on target.
That's back-to-back for G2, so if you're Koi, you're like, this started off well, and Cheese is back in his threes game, and this is just goal after goal, and not much of a loudness from the defense that this just keeps happening.
You give some, you take some. If you're G2, you keep kind of shooting yourselves in the foot. It's kind of been the theme of this series for them, for Koi. Interesting kickoff strat there from G2. Interesting fake from Atomic. Overextending upfield, the boys in blue. Trying to get their hands dirty, but Gyro gets bumped. Here comes Sosa. Can't find the dunk. JNaps will clear. But more pressure mounting. Cheese from the ceiling, no boost. Gives it to Atomic. The double commit does work out. But the numbers are up, and Koi are here.
Just 1 minute and 4 goals have gone by. Kind of reminds me of the ones game. Just never-ending offense. And that's what you expect from G2. Atomic with the setup to the right. Chicago tries to cut, and Koi is blocked. They're just starting to read these G2 passing plays a bit better. As Koi, they force their way through the midfield. Atomic trying to send it back, but good position there for Sosa to just place it into the box. But with the coverage that G2 had, it was tough for Koi to slice through that.
Just trying to make life more difficult for G2 on their counterattacks, taking players off possession. Atomic has Chicago. Might not need it with the placement from that shot. A boost here at the midfield, and here goes JNaps. You got Atomic in the wing if you need the pass. Quick cut down, Gyro's there. And he will keep this play moving. The extension from Sosa is great. The pass is good as well. Gyro doing all that he can just to be kind of a smoke screen to allow Cheese to get a shot. I like the decision-making from Koi, but it doesn't really pan out, and now they have to play defense.
G2, Atomic, just passing it to someone in the midfield, but Koi starting to read these well. And Koi, they have these clears, but what else? You got threes. You don't have an open net that you can shoot on from across the field. Chicago doesn't have time to set up. Koi more eager on these challenges, not letting G2 time to think. Good control from Atomic, but Koi's defense stepping it up surely. In a 2-2 going into the second half, G2 are obviously creating more opportunities and putting shots on, but Koi are holding on.
2 minutes to go. A lot of time here for G2. Quick cut downs. Counterattacks for G2. Interceptions from staying offense. Not quite there. Cheese can't get caught up in time. There's a demo at midfield. Numbers advantage for G2. Power play will be burned, and there it goes. Sosa gets the ball right back.
He's got Cheese. Oh, he's fallen back for boost, so couldn't go for a pass, and we need Koi to follow up with each other too. The setups have definitely been there. They've got the clears, but we've only seen kind of one pressure building offense from Koi, I believe last game. And G2, obviously, when you have that third G2 still dumping it in as Chicago starts it off. Atomic looking for bumps. Double commit from Koi gives the ball right back to G2, at least just barely. It's Atomic to JNaps. Gyro not letting this cut through the right side. So G2 are definitely wasting Koi's time, but you need a third goal to win the game.
Atomic playing it to the opposite side. JNaps moves laterally. A lot of space in the infield here for G2 to work. The clears are there for Koi, but they don't have possession. Upfield's Gyro. Here comes JNaps. That's up left post. Going to be off. Redirecting on the clear. Defense does hold on. Koi, but Atomic, the pre-jump. Are you joking? From G2. The pre-jump from the opposite dimension. This is absurd.
Like, how do you save this? You just don't.
You don't.
Just G2. Eventually, this opportunities they've had, of course, you're going to find success with 30 seconds left. It's up to Koi to pick up the phone and answer, or G2 will start their climb back in the series. It's still match point for Koi, and G2 have work yet to go. Now Atomic in the box. Sosa denies. JNaps brings it back. Chicago at least wasting Koi's time. 12 seconds for Koi to get the clear, and Gyro couldn't follow up to rally it through. And Koi are just putting a band-aid on this ship, but it's sinking and they're drowning, and Koi just can't seem to come back. With the 20 seconds they had to come back, it's chance here, a floater, but Gyro blocks. So does the cross, and Koi have to go all the way down, and it's not enough, and there it is. G2 3-2.
G2 is not out of it yet. Everybody hold your horses. We got a good one. 3-2 lead still here for Koi in the series, but G2 make things interesting. Gyro, we got to talk about that one, brother. Been watching you for a long time. What was that? Because you had an open shot and you kind of whiffed it. But there we go. It was. It seemed like the counterattack's there for G2 for the majority of this game, right? You're looking at the defense for Koi in the backboard, but slowly but surely start to get picked apart. And Atomic with these angles, Chicago with these touches. My goodness, G2 are lethal in the offensive third. When they get creative, they're one of the best teams in the world.
And you live by the gyro, you die by the gyro. I mean, a lot of saves have been by these miraculous goal line blocks by Gyro. Sometimes he whiffs it on the defense, and G2 find the gap. They'll always punish that. But hot and cold moments from Gyro. 3-2 for G2. Oh, it's a tongue twister. We go to game 7, and Koi better watch out. That's what? No, that's actually been traded back and forth. So yeah, but that game was decided in the last 20 seconds. So you're not like feeling that amazing if you're G2.
Yep. Look, you're going to be in a situation where we can go back to 1s or 2s. Granted, we've played the entire gambit. I'm expecting 2s here, and we're going to get 1s instead. So Atomic, and here we go. Cosmic. You know what? That actually makes way more sense because of how Cosmic's playing as of late. Just ignore what I say like you do anyway. Here we go. Cosmic, Atomic. We've seen it before. We're seeing it for the 3rd time. The trilogy continues. And does Cosmic have what it takes to put this series away?
Yeah, was it 8-6 for Cosmic last time? And the first time they faced in the quarterfinal, Atomic won that 1v1 battle. So the score is tied. And G2, all the weight on Atomic's shoulders. The way they've just fought so hard when Koi were on match point to slowly come back in this series. And it's all up to Atomic to keep G2 alive in the lower bracket final. Or else it's a top 3 finish, which is not bad for the charity they chose. And Cosmic finds the first one.
Atomic, I do like kind of the hezzy step here, but you flipped too far out. You shouldn't have done that. Gave possession right back to Cosmic. That was not the touch that Atomic wanted. It's a 1-0 lead. Plenty of time. Everything's possible. But that was an interesting start.
Atomic, and both Atomic and Cosmic have taken notes on each other for the many 1v1s they've now gone through. Atomic being a lot more patient on the defense, waiting for what silliness Cosmic has cooked up. But Cosmic, as soon as Atomic makes any positional mistake, as you pointed out, Cosmic is quick to score on it. Now Atomic just trying to hold on to possession. As in his shadow is Cosmic, getting it above and not saved. We'll demo and get the last laugh, but it's G2 that tie it.
And you'll make up for that mistake here as a quick swing back down the ramp and a beautiful shot as you catch Cosmic right on the tail end of that rotation. 58 seconds gone into this game. We're on Neo Tokyo. It's a wonderful time to be here. G2, 2 games to their side. Koi up by 3. We'll see how things play out as G2 try to send us to a very decisive Game 7. But it has been all of Koi in this series up until what seems like the resurgence of the G2 threes that we're so used to. Cosmic takes it away. That's off target. Does get a bump. We saw that at the end of the last game in ones where Cosmic was getting very physical with Atomic, and that opened up a couple of goals in succession.
I'm seeing Atomic already play with more speed too, and that last one just chasing Cosmic around. That touch that just gets the ball just a bit away, waiting this time. Cosmic with barely the save, and he's able to knock this away, not centered out, but Atomic has to be careful.
Well, Cosmic actually steals both boosts, so there's nothing here for Atomic to work with, and this should be a goal, and it will be. Beautiful heads-up read by Cosmic. Recognizes the opportunity, takes away all available resources, and puts it away.
And just like in the last one's battle, the lead has been back and forth, never getting out of reach of a 1-goal lead for either Atomic or Cosmic. Even that last 1v1 that Cosmic won was decided in the last 30 seconds, where Cosmic just got a lot more physical and scored twice on him, and there's the response.
Big time aerials from big time Atomic. Beautiful ceiling reset. I mean, that's as classic Rocket League as you're going to get from the Atomic, the young one. I don't even know how this kid's still rising in the scene. I mean, he's been around for so long. He's already a veteran, but it's hard to forget that, he's like, what, 17, 18, something like that. Just insane how good he's gotten in the past 2 years.
And Atomic, back-to-backs. Oh, look at this control. Thought he was tucking it to the left, I think, and then just ended up centering it out. Cosmic tried to read that. Like I said, Atomic with back-to-backs gives him a 1-goal lead with the kickoff advantage, and Cosmic caught lacking.
That's 3 back-to-back-to-back there for Atomic. Cosmic gets bumped into the side dash, and there you go. I mean, the recovery's perfect on the kickoff. What was a 2-1 lead? Okay.
We're going to Game 7, aren't we? Just getting those vibes. I'm not calling it. I mean, maybe, but there's 3 minutes. But Atomic are looking good, or is looking good.
There's plenty of time here. Ones is a very interesting side for crew battles. Again, the players get their pick. They're feeling good with how Cosmic's been playing recently. Yesterday, against this matchup, he struggled, but turned it around, and then he found himself in a similar situation here going into this series. He was able to take the opening ones matchup, Atomic from his own side of the field, late on the reset, or I should say early on the reset, but enough of an advantage there where Cosmic's going to be able to make that read. Only a 2-goal lead here for G2, but Cosmic puts one dangerously before it ricochets off the backboard.
I thought Atomic was going to get that flip reset too. I was holding on to my seat. They're just playing with a quick pace too. Watching and lurking as Atomic bumping Cosmic off the ball, but still finds the gap, and it's only a 1-goal game.
He tried to cut the lane here. He had full boost, but Atomic didn't recognize that the snowplow that is Cosmic is going to just work through him. He's just going to run right up the middle of the field. Just worry about the ball and the ball only. And that is what leads us to a 4-3 scoreline as Cosmic works his way back into this game. But Atomic off kickoff will have full tank and a lot of space in the air.
Reset available. Cosmic waits for it. Almost pitching it to the left side. Good save by Cosmic. Just waiting for this ball to land. Challenge at the same time. Gives Atomic first hand at the ball to put it to the corner. Cosmic gets the demo. Is it a free open net? Yes, it is. And that's the tie. Back-to-back for Cosmic.
Yep, you're going to get a far spawn, so you're more than happy to just play it slow and secure this shot. Make sure you put it in the net as you do. Tie game. That's what Cosmic does. He's handled the pressure. This kid is special. One of the best ones players in the world. I think ranked #1 overall, like we've mentioned time and time again here on this broadcast. Atomic, very good in his own right, and has proven that he's a worthy adversary for Cosmic in this tournament. But Cosmic has a chance to send Koi to the grand finals against V1 and do it in such interesting fashion, kind of stepping up and being the hero for this squad. A last-second addition and one who's been practicing one specifically for this tournament and gets himself a lead to boot.
It would be kind of funny, maybe not funny for G2, but funny for a neutral caster like me if Koi were to knock G2 out of this bracket. This is what the script is saying right now, with match point Koi in the lead, because it was G2 that knocked Koi in the lower bracket in the very first round. Koi took down Axel, Complexity. Now it's a 2-goal lead for Koi, who also took down Optic to get to this point. Koi have learned a lot and improved a lot, and it's showing the fact that this series is going the distance after a 3-0 from G2.
I mean, he's a brick wall on the recovery off the kickoff. You think you're going to bounce him off the play, but you just constantly have to deal with him in front on possession.
Shot.
That's opening up the conversation more about teams having ones mains, but we'll hold that for another day, as Atomic said, you know what, I can play too, and rips it from midfield.
Just finding that tiny gap. Cosmic almost getting there. Great placement from Atomic. Keeps himself in the shadow of Cosmic. 1 minute left. And it's just everyone bullying each other, going for boost first. Atomic has 80 to go. Cosmic waits, pre-jumps, blocks. Recovery for Atomic, though, as Cosmic waits, holds the post, tries to bring it to the other side. Dangerous place for this ball to be if you're Cosmic. And Atomic getting really physical with it.
Yeah, and Atomic's going to have to stay on ball here. He can't afford to rotate back. He would probably get a shot over his head, and at that point, it's a 7-5 game. You can burn time here as you'll wait. Here comes the push. Atomic reads it beautifully. Getting chased, but doesn't commit. Something AJ did earlier. Tried to commit on the demo. It didn't work out. Atomic, slow floater. Right off the fingertips, but couldn't find the angle. He'll circle right from the side wall. Atomic gives it back to Cosmic, and now a 1v1 on the left side of the field.
Tried to fake him with the bounce, but off the back wall. Cosmic gets there first, not the touch he was hoping for. Racing back the last couple seconds, and Cosmic just needs to hold on and not let Atomic get this ball in front of the orange net. It's on the ground. Atomic can't do it, and Koi go to the grand final.
You got a one specialist for a reason. He steps up time and time and time again. He wins the trilogy battle 2-1 in the end, but overall a 4-2 victory for Koi. Nobody had this one written down, and it is all Jover, folks. It's over. It's completely done. Koi finished their business